Hi guys, so today I'm just going to show you some makeup do's and don'ts. So let's just get straight into it. So one makeup don't with your foundation, it's really important. Yes, you know, we're in spring, we're getting into summer, the warmer weather is coming as well. So sometimes we tend to go a little bit too dark with our foundation. So this is a definite don't. So you want to actually go in, can you see how that's kind of a bit dark? You want to make sure that your foundation matches your skin tone. I mean, obviously if your face is a lot darker, a lot lighter than your body, yes, you do need to match it up, but you need to make sure that it's not, there's not like a huge difference. Can you see that with my chest and my neck area? This foundation is a bit too dark for me. Okay, that's one mistake you can make. So always make sure that you rectify that with matching your foundation to your neck area. So the best way to actually match it up is I'm going to take my foundation that I actually use on me, which is my Runway Room Face Base C, and I'm going to take a little cotton tip. I'm going to add a little bit of product on there. I'm going to swatch it onto my neck area. See how it's starting to blend? Girl, that is my color. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with my color. It's more of a yellow base. I'm gonna start adding it all over. See how that is actually matching my skin tone a lot better. Obviously, if I was much darker, I would definitely go for the option on this side, but it's not. My face is always lighter, I tell you, even when I'm in the sun and my whole face is in the sun trying to bake, it never gets dark. I always seem to get a nice tan in Europe, guys. Who's with me on that? The Aussie sun does not like me. See how that's quite dark there, but that actually matches my skin tone much more. So always make sure that you do that foundation test. Never test it on this side of your hand or that side of your hand, because you might have had a spray tan or a fake tan on, and it's not going to match up. This side's always darker as well. This side's always lighter, so you're going to get a more accurate match if you actually match it just to your jawline or to your neck area. So that's definitely a don't, that's definitely a do. I mean, I do like this color, but look, it's not happening. It's not gonna work. It's just, I mean, that's fake tan anyway, but it's just, I think it's just a little bit too dark and too pink for me. So the other don't is eyebrows. Now we have spoken about this before. Really important that your eyebrows aren't overdrawn or painted. I know a lot of that look is in right now, but it's really important to have, you know, if you can go for a dramatic eyebrow look if you want, but you still want it to look natural. There's nothing worse than it just looking like it's actually been stuck on or painted on. But I do understand that some people do not have any brows, and a lot of people are opting for, oh dear, what is that? The brow treatment that you actually get done, which actually creates like brow tattooing and stuff like that, brow feathering. So a lot of women are opting for that as well. And I can understand how that works for women that actually don't have any brow hair. I get that. I get it. So there is nothing worse. I mean, I'm cringing right now as I'm doing it, but I'm gonna do it just for you, just for you guys. There's nothing worse than making your eyebrows look like that and either painting them in or going over them with a brow powder, and I'm going to go over them with a brow powder. And obviously darkening the whole brow from beginning to end. Your natural brow is always lighter from the beginning and then it gets darker, but this is what you don't do. Because what it's going to do is it's going to create that really angry kind of look. You don't want anything to look so sharp and too intense. It's too much, And you know, a lot of girls tend to go in really black and dark, even if they're fair skinned and have fair hair, and it can be scary, guys. I look scary. That is a definite no. You want your eyebrows to look natural. You want them to look fluffy. You want them to look real. You don't want to scare people off when you're actually out there, you know? There's lots of amazing products out there. Even if you don't have hair, you don't want to go for feathering, you don't want to get makeup tattooing done. Getting a good brow pencil. I know I keep talking about this, but this is what really saved my brows, because I really struggled to find a really good product to use that was gonna look natural. I always kind of felt like my brows looked really artificial, and these babies, these brow pencils from Anastasia have just worked a treat. So you want to make sure that you also use it properly. And I find even if I go darker on my brows, they still look so natural. Really, really natural. And then I would go in again with the brow powder, but I'm actually going to just darken up just kind of a third of the way in. You know, so starting light and kind of graduating inwards. Creating that nice, natural balance. And because it's a pencil too, you can always, and a powder, you can always just kind of brush and lighten it up a little bit if it's too intense for you. So always take your time with your brows, because it's really important that you get them right. Because once you get them right, like I've said before, it'll be much quicker every time you go through and do it. So that's how you can even darken them up as well, and just kind of bring the hair out a little bit. Create light strokes in here, because you want that area to look quite nice and light. And that one's just... You're never going to get it perfect. It's going to be different every time, but that's okay as long as it doesn't look scary. That's the important thing. Oh my Lord. I like that it's made my eyes really green on this side, but no, we're not having that. Okay, another don't is using your contour. Okay. Hopefully this will come up too low. When you use it too low, and then you are blending it all the way down. Because what that's going to do is, you shouldn't even have your contour down here. It should actually be coming just across kind of halfway instead of all the way down, because it's going to drag your face down as well and make you look a little bit older. So the proper way to do it is just start from your hairline where your ear is and just kind of go a little bit in. Use your little brush, buffing it ever so gently upwards into your cheek area. So it's still kind of lifting. Okay, that's dragging that down. It's kind of still giving it that nice look and blending it upwards. Okay. Another don't, guys, is taking your strobing stick, highlighter or illuminator, whatever you highlight with, and using it too close to the eye area. Oh my gosh, this is gonna look so bad. Some girls go all the way in here, all the way. And it's just going to highlight any bags that you have on your eye area. And it's just not going to look very pretty at all. It's going to look quite unnatural and quite oily. What you want to do is you actually want to take a setting powder. I've got concealer under here. You want to take a setting powder. I'll go through the concealer again actually. Take your little beauty blender and your concealer and just kind of go under your eye area. Clearly you do this after your foundation if you need it. Take a little bit of setting powder like that and just bake underneath, and that will just help to minimize any puffiness under the eyes. You can be generous with the powder as well because your beauty blender just buffs everything in. Can you see that? See how it highlights that puffiness? Nothing highlighted here, but my natural cheek is highlighting here. So that's where you want to take your strobing stick or your illuminator or your highlighter. Now I've got a few little pimples on here, so I don't want to highlight that, but I'm just going to go just in here. And just highlight a little bit of that. Okay, so you don't want to highlight any problem areas. Look at that. It just looks like an oily mess. It really does. So you don't want to do that. Where you also would like to highlight would probably be your forehead. If you've got a nice smooth forehead, if you've got problem areas with your pimples and things like that, you don't want to highlight there. Tip of your nose, Cupid's bow. That will give the illusion that you have a nice full lip. Right here. So that's a really good tip to use because highlighting, a lot of people can make mistakes with highlighting and just highlight all over the face, and then you look like you've got really oily skin, and you just don't want that. It's just not going to look pretty at all. So that looks much more natural, much more natural, whereas this looks really, really harsh. I'll blend this in a bit more just so you can, it's just wrong. It's just too low. It's just gonna drag your face down. And let's go back to the contouring, and then you're gonna contour higher up over here, giving the illusion that your face is lifted. So I'm contouring here because I have that little, my jawline's kind of, it's not collapsing, let's hope not. But it just kind of, skin does get a bit saggy down there. Okay. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in now with eyeliner. So when you, a don't for eyeliner, guys, is going too dark around the eye area unless it's a dramatic eye that you're doing. There's nothing worse than doing your eyeliner like this and just leaving it. I've seen lots of people do this. It's terrible. It looks disgusting. What you want to do is you want to have a really soft eye. I always take my pencil and I kind of just go, just gonna get my mirror. I go under first. Right, yes, it looks harsh. We don't care at the moment. And then I go in with a really soft brown. And it's a nice kohl pencil that I use. And just kind of smoke it out. So it still looks strong, but it's not hard. Always making it soft underneath. Like, look at that, that's just bad. That just does not look good. And some ladies can actually just leave it like that, which is ridiculous. Then what I've seen people do with eyeliner is they kind of curve it inwards. So they kind of, instead of doing a straight line, what they do is, and I can't stand this, it just looks so bad. They kind of flick it up and give it a bit of a curve. I don't even know what to call it, but it just looks really bad. It kind of comes down and they flick it. And then they feel they need to take the eyeliner and put it all over the eye. Now what this does is it's actually gonna not give you that really nice attractive wing look. It's not gonna give you that really nice Angelina Jolie eye. It's not gonna give you that really nice almond shaped eye. What it's gonna do is it's gonna look quite harsh and really unattractive. You want it to look nice and smooth. So what you want to do first is you want to go in with your mascara. I always do my mascara first because then you can work your eyeliner into your mascara as well. Now I actually did have some lashes on before, so there's a bit of glue on my lashes, so I do apologize if it looks a little bit crusty. And then what you do is you go in with your eyeliner. You need to make sure this mirror doesn't, this lighting actually doesn't move. So keep shaking. If you've got an eyeliner that's running out, keep shaking. I'm sweating, guys, as we're doing this. It's intense. It's intense when you've got to do eyeliner. It really is. Even when you're not under pressure. So I just do a little wing, not too much, and then kind of taking it across. Halfway. Which is so much nicer than that. See, this goes straight across. So much nicer. Then I kind of just leave it at that. Or sometimes I go in to the inner corners and just kind of fill in and make it a little bit darker. Got to take your time with this. And pretty much just leave it like that. So that's just a bit too harsh for me. When you do your lashes, what lashes am I going to use? I'm going to go, let's go for these ones because these look a little bit more simple to use. When you do your lashes, you're going to start with the glue. Let's do the eye actually, the don'ts of the lashes. Hopefully the light hasn't been moving since I've been moving, but I'm sure it has, because hey, that's YouTube videos for you when you're actually doing it on your phone. You never know what's gonna happen. All right, guys, so I've got my glue on. This is what you don't do when you do your lashes. So what I've done is I'm taking the lashes and bringing them all the way in to the inner corner of the eye. And can you see how it actually cuts off, kind of like cuts off here? The real lash cuts off here, and I've brought it all the way in. And sometimes it can kind of like make your eyes go more inwards, but it just looks a little bit harsh. It's not the lash isn't long enough, so it's cutting off kind of here instead of going to where my real lash is. And some girls will actually add their lashes on that way. And look, we all do it, you know, it's what happens. But this is how you would apply this particular lash, or any lash, properly. I've taken this one all the way into the inner corners, and that's just not pretty at all. Gosh, look at my real lashes. The glue, I've actually got glue on them. So when you do take your lashes off, you will have glue on them, guys, and you just need to make sure that you remove the glue. Don't do what I did, and I'm meant to be the expert. Crazy, isn't it? Crazy. So you apply your lashes from the corner. Start it from the corner and go inwards. So then you know how long it is. You want to give it that really nice almond shape. Like, see how it just goes out, fans out quite nicely. Gives it that really nice lift out, whereas this is just super, super harsh. This actually ages you as well. You don't want that. You want it to just be nice and soft. Even for a dramatic look, you want it to look really, really nice and soft. So another don't with blush is actually using a blush that's not going to match the look that you're going for. And sometimes, you know, people can actually wear a darker foundation like I have on this side and think they've got to go for a brighter, bolder blush because they've got such a dark foundation. And sometimes what happens is people will use a really big brush and they will just go to town and just kind of place the blush really low and just all over. This is not a joke. I have seen this happen many a times, and I literally can't, there's no definition. I can't see any of that. You need to go for a color that's complementary to what you're wearing. So I'm going to go back in and I'm going to use my small kabuki brush, take a little bit of my cream blush, and I'm going to start from here halfway, kind of working it in to my contour ever so lightly and just blending it. So kind of giving it just a really nice soft look. If you want to add more color, sure, add more color. Just kind of go to the corners, take it outwards. Always lifting up. And look, if you like to have blush around your cheeks, just kind of just place them in the apples of your cheeks, but buffing outwards. Making sure your blush doesn't go anywhere below this point. No, no, no. I haven't gone into eyes. We'll do eyes another time. So we're going to go straight into lips, and if you do want to have a bigger, you know, natural lip line, that's great. You can do that, but, you know, try not to go way over. This is a no-no for doing. So going all the way over your lip line, not using a color that's not complementary. And this is what I have seen being done. I'm serious, guys. I have seen it. I have seen it. I swear to you, I have seen it. So I'm going to grab a lippy that actually does match this up. Where are you? Where are you when I need you? Isn't that always the way? When you have it somewhere, I do love this color, but we're not using it for that purpose. So I have actually, I have seen people wear lips like this, so kind of not even cutting it off, but taking it all the way in here to your natural lip line. It's going to drag your lip down as well. So a proper way to do it, to actually do your lips, would be follow your natural lip line. Just go a tiny, oops, just go a tiny little bit outwards. Not too much. Oh, there goes my dogs. Oh my gosh. Kind of cut it through. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with a warmer lipstick and add a warmer lipstick on top of that, just to be a little bit more complimentary. I might have actually gone a bit too over with that pink. So sorry guys about the dog barking. He is so good. He barks because I've actually closed the door. So he thinks someone's here. So kind of not going all the way in, but cutting it a little bit. Oh, I wish you could stop barking. Really? This is real. This is real, guys. This is what happens. So yeah, just keeping it really complimentary, really natural as well. So you definitely want to give your mouth a really nice youthful look, because as you age, your mouth tends to curve downwards as well. There's nothing worse than putting your lipstick all the way to the outer of your mouth area. So I'm really hoping that those few little tips and tricks have helped you. We haven't done every single thing, but I thought that would be a great start. So add your comments and questions below of what you're struggling with makeup, so I can help you and so I can know what videos you'd like me to do, guys. Follow me on YouTube, Instagram and Facebook. I'd love to have you on board, and I will see you again soon. Bye.